Good morning, everyone. So, I just got out of the bath. I feel much better than before. And I was reading my textbook here, and this is a bit outdated. It's about 5 years outdated, but one of the issues discussed in it is stem cell research, and I have an opinion on it. So, essentially, a stem cell is an embryonic cell. It's called a stem cell because all of the various types of cells in the body originate or stem from it. And the controversy is over whether or not embryonic cells should be used for research now. The research that it can help with is for existence, I'm sorry. For example, helping with debilitating neurological disorders or spinal cord injuries or Alzheimer's disease or leukemia or diabetes or all of these things that a lot of people suffer from. And there are, scientists are pretty much for stem cell research. Obviously, it's research, it's science, it benefits humanity, it benefits the world as a whole. And there are many people who object to the harvesting and use of human embryonic stem cells because it says here because of human rights, because the status of the embryo or fetus is a human being with the same legal rights as any other living person, and it cannot give informed consent. And other people, the people who are pro-stem cell research, tend to argue that an aborted fetus has basically the same standing as a cadaver, for which cadaveric tissues and organs are routinely and legally used for research, teaching, and transplantation. And let's see, according to federal guidelines developed under the Bush administration in 2001. Now, I don't know if these have changed at all. I haven't really done any more updated research on this. This is an opinion piece, but so this may not be the most educated opinion. But it says federal funds can only be used to study stem cell lines derived from the embryos before 2001, and a stem cell line is a group of identical cells grown from a single stem cell. And, people can still privately fund it under certain guidelines or whatever. They don't go into the specifics. And essentially, the questions to consider are: do you think the federal government should relax its current restrictive guidelines regarding stem cell research? And I think absolutely yes. I think that this is something that can benefit humanity as a whole. I think that an aborted fetus is, someone who's not, or something that's not even alive, it's not even using its stem cells, and personally I am very pro-choice. I don't like children. I'm sorry. But I'm not Ayn Rand, so I don't really want to say pro-abortion, but I do feel like the stigma on abortion is much higher than it really needs to be. I mean, it's a medical procedure. It's like getting a tapeworm removed or something. Anyway, so yes, I think the federal government should relax its current restrictive guidelines on stem cell research. I believe that it's very important that people who have degenerative diseases, that as much as possible is done to help them to research. And I mean, you're not studying on living people, you're not studying on cells from current living people, anyone that's actually using them. Understand? These are aborted fetuses. They're not alive. They're not. What do they need them for? Meanwhile, the cells can be used for research, and why not? Incidentally, I'm signed up as an organ donor when I got my updated California ID with my new name on it and all that. So, if when I die, if my organs are any good, which I don't think my heart and lungs will be, but any other organs that they want, if they can benefit people, I'm not going to be using them. I'm going to be dead, so science can have them, and that's, partially my same mindset for this. Second question was, suppose that you and your spouse held frozen embryos at a private fertility clinic and that you knew you would never want them. Would you donate them for stem cell research? Why or why not? Absolutely I would. Without question, without a second thought, because again, I am not using them. In fact, if I ever did get an abortion, which I'm not sure how likely that is. I tend to miscarry. It runs in my family. If I ever was in a position where I had to get an abortion, or if I just wanted to get an abortion, I would probably request that the aborted fetus be used for stem cell research, because there are, or as of 2001 or 2010, or whenever this was, whenever this article was published, I think it was published in 2010, but there were 10 stem cell lines remaining. Now, it's 5 years after this book was published, and it is 14 years since that law was passed. How many stem cell lines do you think there are left? There's not enough for medical research, okay? So if I can do my part, if I can help science, I'm not going to get knocked up and get an abortion specifically for science, because that's kind of extreme in my opinion. So that's not something I would do. But yeah, I think that stem cell research is fantastic. I think that it should be utilized more. I think the laws on it should be more relaxed. And if I ever do run for office, I'm going to work on changing that policy. I think sanctity of life regarding, fetuses is kind of dumb. I mean, until they're born, they're not really alive. I don't really care, if they can experience things while they're in the womb or not. That's not my problem. My problem is, again, going back to the example of if I have a tapeworm, I don't care if it's experiencing life. I want that parasite out of my body, and I want to get a medical procedure to have that done, because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want it sucking nutrients out of me. I don't want it sucking the life out of me and making me sick all the time. And obviously, this is a very polarizing issue, very controversial issue. So if you are a mother or an expectant mother, please don't think that I'm calling your kid a parasite. I'm not. I don't have anything against mothers. I don't have anything against people who choose, not to abort, because that would be really, really silly. I personally try to stay away from children, but I'm not going to be like, all children must, whatever. It's extreme. But yeah, I don't mean any offense to anyone. Anyone pregnant, anyone with children, anyone trying to get pregnant, or anyone who can't have children and wishes they could, or I don't mean any offense for that. I just think that I think stem cell research is important, and I think that zygotes are banhammered from my body. That's it. Okay, sorry if I offended anyone. Anyway, cheers.